I'll pull up a chair. If life's been heavy, you're welcome here. We talk real stories, the truth, the fight, the mess, the pain, what's wrong and what's right. The crime in the headlines, secrets and shame, abuse, addiction, calling it by name. Mental health, yeah, we say it out loud. No whispers here, no blending in the crowd. This ain't a courtroom, this ain't a feed. It's a table where we all get a seat. But first, coffee with Susie Overholt, where hard conversations don't cost your soul. We talk recovery, we talk repair, we talk hope rising up from despair. We're a safe place, friends and family, small town heart with a global reach, like a local newspaper and a coffee shop door. Pull up a chair, there's room for more.
Hey everybody, sorry we're running late. I don't know what it is. The last two lives that I've done, I've had issues with my mic or with the sound or something. So I'm mic free tonight. I'm just on the mic on my laptop, so we'll see how that works. And hopefully it goes good. So welcome back. Feels like I've been gone forever. Yeah, I got really sick after last Thursday, actually, after that live, and basically have spent the last week in bed, other than I got up and went to lunch with my family on Sunday for Father's Day. But then I paid for it. I was sick as a dog when we got back. So yeah, it's just my Hashimoto's that I did have to cancel like 4 shows. So I'm really sorry, but we'll put those back in the lineup. They'll get done. They'll get done. So I appreciate everybody being here. And Carnisol, thank you so much for being here. You are a lot of help, as is Jan, who is in the back office. She will be starring comments for us. I felt bad. I was trying to figure out the sound and everything, and I came back on and I'm like, okay, everybody, I can hear you. Okay, bye. I like just shoved everybody off the screen. I wasn't trying to be rude, I promise. I just was like, I'm late, and I hate that. I absolutely hate being late. So anyway, yeah, I kind of like it a little bit. That mic's not in front of my face. I don't feel like it's like gonna, I don't know, like I'm gonna bump into it, but at the same time, I like to have a better mic, so I don't know how sound is gonna be. Well, anyway, so hey, y'all, tonight we are diving back into something that I think can feel a little overwhelming to a lot of people, myself included. Um, this is our second part of our Pride series, and we're going to talk about a lot of terminology. And honestly, I know that that is something that a lot of us don't really understand. A lot of us pointing straight at myself, and we don't ask. It's like we're afraid that we're going to insult someone or sound stupid. And so tonight, I do want to encourage sincere and respectful questions. And believe me, I'm probably going to have a ton of them myself. And, curiosity when it comes with kindness, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It actually, I think, can be a form of respect. If you respect someone enough to try to get to know them, or, what they're about, or all of it, just whatever that is, in whatever situation it is, not just in this situation, then I think that is it shows a level of respect if you are curious enough to ask questions, respectful questions. So I know I have tons, and I'm glad to have actual people that I can ask and not just go to Google. So, so joining us again tonight are two people who have been so incredibly generous with their time and with their patience, especially with my lack of being able to deal with the computer and figure out what's going on, but also just their willingness to answer questions that, again, some people might be afraid to ask. So I picked these two specific people. Again, I said that last week because they are known to you all. So I thought that that would make everybody more comfortable. They kind of know who you are, you kind of know who they are. And so we're just here as friends and we can just talk. So Indigo and Mandy are here to speak, or they're not here to speak, sorry, for every person in the LGBTQ plus community. That is not even something that's possible, but they're here to help us, by sharing their knowledge and their experiences. And I'm excited. I've been like excited. I was like, I am not missing this live. We are not postponing this live, no matter what. So, with that, please welcome Indigo and Mandy back to our little corner of the internet. Hold on, I got to get adjusted here. There we go. And there we go. Hello. You both.
And Archie.
And Archie.
Hello.
Oh, Archie. Yes. Yes. I have my dog that's over here that I swear she thinks that she's the producer of the show, because anytime I sit in this chair, she runs over and lays down right beside me. So usually falls asleep, and a lot of times has a lot of gas. She is an English bulldog. So Hill says I am not a robot. So anyway, I'm glad to have something flying in front of my face. I'm so glad to have you guys back.
Yay. I'm happy to be back.
You both look so good. This whatever that is in front of my face.
The power of the ring light.
Yeah.
I put on makeup just for you.
Oh wow. Absolutely. Oh, I just turned my
God, my face is tan, but my hand is so white. That's crazy. Anyway, sorry.
Hey, we're a little vain, but okay. So I hope that you're all doing well and had a good weekend. So I'm just gonna, jump right into some of these deals, because I think that I'm just gonna put slides up and we're gonna talk about them. And I think that that's a good way to maybe encourage the chat to ask questions also. So I hope I got these in the order I intended for them to be in. Probably.
I also sent you a couple of things.
Yeah, I forgot to bring those over, but we can.
And I sent you one last thing that I was hoping that you would put on at the end for me,
okay.
That I made.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just remind me, because I will forget. I will absolutely forget.
Yeah.
So, okay, now let's see here. Let's bring up the first slide. So first of all, it is, what does LGBTQIA plus stand for? So I didn't know all of this. I mean, I could get the gist of it, but I really didn't know the I or the A, or I knew that plus had to just be like anybody that has not yet had an initial put in.
Well, we can't keep the acronyms going. It's already a mouthful. I mean,
yeah, and plus, I know in Canada they have added 2SP on the end for two-spirit people.
Oh yeah, okay.
Two-spirit is for Native people.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it used as much like in the US as I do when I talk to my Canadian friends. I don't know if it's just like, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we already have a lot of letters.
Yeah. I get it.
Like, I don't know if I could even add on any more.
Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah.
pretty good to make it to the Q and then plus, because after that I'm just like, oh, what was I saying?
Yeah.
I forget where I'm at, but you know.
But the I and the A, I think were added like in the 2000s.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
I could see that.
So there is one thing that I'm sitting here and I'm looking at, and then I didn't realize it, that with the Q, that is actually for queer or questioning. So can you explain questioning to me? Is it just as simple as what it sounds like it is? Like they're just not sure yet, you know?
Yeah, like I know many people, and I actually watched this lesbian comedian Ashley Gavin, and there are quite a few of her audience members who will be like, I don't know if I am, like,
Yeah.
and then like it's funny because even the questioning people, like when they lay out what they're into, it's like, okay, you're bisexual, just okay, you are.
But I think it's important to give that fluidity, because I think for me, I just don't think gender is as rigid as society makes it.
Yeah.
So kind of letting people come to their own definition of who they are can be helpful, to have a middle phase where you can experiment with it.
Yeah, and it's okay to experiment. It's okay not to know fully. Like, it's fine. I don't understand why people always need to know, like, well, you need to label this, or you need to be put in a box.
Yeah.
The Q was kind of added because queer was thrown around as a slur.
Yeah.
And we kind of just took that word back. Plus, it kind of, at least for me, it fits with, I came out as bisexual. And I could, even use the term pansexual, but I just say I'm queer. I'm all over the place. It's whatever. Like,
I'm actually glad that the community took that word back, because I mean, I love when any words are taken back, because words have a certain weight and a certain importance, and when
they
are
can
used against somebody, I don't like that.
There's a lot of like other slurs that some people have taken back as well, where it's like it gives you more power, because if you're kind of like minding your own business, and if someone were to be like, oh wow, you look like a D slur, I would be like, I'm only half, because I also like men. So like I think there's like a part of reclaiming that gives power back to the group that's reclaiming it. So it's different if like I refer to myself as that, versus if somebody hostile still tries to use it against you.
Yeah.
So it can give you like personal power back.
Hey, Jacob, good to see you. I see a lot of people are coming in. I'm always glad. So so I thought that was, I'm into slides. I like to show slides. They keep me kind of.
I like it too. I'm all for the slides.
It keeps it organized. Like on this list, I definitely fall under like at least 3 of the terminologies. So like I'm bisexual, I'm agender, and I also say I'm queer because I feel like it fits non-binary to be queer. It's like, okay, I fall under multiple things depending on the day and like how I'm feeling.
Can you explain the A for us, for those that don't know?
So for me, I'm a gender, actually. Like I would honestly love to wake up tomorrow looking as androgynous as David Bowie and just like move on with my life. But like I don't mentally or emotionally attach myself to like male or female binary. If that makes sense. Like I would like to look more in the middle and less like one or the other. Asexual and aromantic are sort of overarching umbrella terms that have other terms that fit under them, like a spectrum of that are people who are like semi-interested or not interested in romance or sexual
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
But they're like a spectrum. They're not like a single
Yeah.
definition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't
But
have
you
said
have
that better.
another slide that breaks down more terms, so I'm trying
Yeah.
not to jump
Oh
ahead.
yeah. I've got lots of slides, y'all.
Yeah, I know. And I wanted to touch on, can you go back real quick? I wanted to
yeah,
touch
yeah.
on the I real quick.
Uh-huh.
Because where like intersex is more of like a biology standpoint, and less like lesbian, gay, bisexual, like your sexual orientation. Intersex people have literally been pushed down as like
Mhm.
beneath everybody and have been demonized all of history, because people can't tell what you are.
Yeah.
And like it's such a wide range of conditions that involve your chromosomes.
Yeah.
And unless we're going to be testing every single person for their chromosomes, you won't be able to tell what combination of chromosomes they have.
Exactly. And what?
And a lot
Why is it?
and a lot of yeah, and a lot of people would have as babies their parts surgically removed, done something with, because they need to fit into society.
Which is so
and I know a lot of intersex people who didn't even know they were until they were an adult because their parents kept their medical history from them. A lot of times with these conditions, you won't even know that you're intersex until you hit puberty, because a lot of these conditions present themselves once a body is starting to like hit puberty.
There's a good percentage, well, a percentage of trans people who were also intersex at birth. Mostly of the F to M variety, which is like scientifically interesting. Like if they'd just been able to authentically be themselves, maybe they wouldn't have been like forced into being a girl.
Yeah, and I wish that, and I know that surgeries still happen. They're not as prominent because more and more literature is going to parents and to kids that are kids that are intersex, and those are just the ones that like you see something ambiguous on the body. Like I said, a lot of the conditions you won't know until you hit puberty, and then things are starting to get looked at. So not being in the dark with your medical history is one big one for parents. Like you really like should talk, like educate yourself and educate your child on what it means to be intersex, and that it's totally freaking fine. I'm so tired of jerks saying that, oh, it's just a mutation. I'm like, would you like to be called a mutation? Like, it's a naturally occurring thing in all species. Why does it have to be named something so that it's like a throwaway? It's like the sticking point of still trying to say that sex is binary when it literally isn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it comes from a fear, and instead of trying to understand it, their
not just fear, just
like,
totally ignorant, just like
willful ignorance.
Willfully
like it comes from society trying to reinforce binaries that people don't fit into. Like genetically, we just don't fit into these boxes. But instead of admitting that and looking at the science and trying to move forward, they like stick to an old way of thinking, and it just makes it harder because then somebody peer reviews the science and confirms that the current view is correct, like the advancements, and then they're stuck being like, they can't move forward because they don't want to. But it can do some harm to people too. I think that's the sad thing. Like a lot of decisions parents make when babies are born, like you're making before that baby is like old enough to have their own like opinion. So I just wonder if people were just allowed to have their babies born naturally, what where would we be with society with these like identities and questions? I think it would be more accepted for sure.
I do too. I
Also,
really do.
why are these people missing biology classes? Because I'm pretty sure that I learned all of that in biology in school.
I'm telling you, it's willful ignorance. There is a difference in ignorance and willful ignorance.
True that.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Willful
Next
ignorance,
slide.
you just don't want to know any better.
I really enjoying that we have slides here.
Are you?
Me too. If I look down, it's because I have the slide on my computer and a much bigger screen.
Okay. Okay. Now I did find this at a question that people often ask: are people who identify as MAPS or minor attracted persons part of the LGBTQIA plus community? And that is a big no.
Let's just call them what they are.
That is called a pedophile.
I would like to say that in the history of dehumanizing the LGBT community, they often do propaganda ads that enforce this notion that like most people in the community are predators, and that's just not true. And like MAPS, it's a choice. That's a choice.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
So no, they're not part of the LGBT. Well, okay.
Psychologically, they cannot help it.
There might be predators in the community, but as a whole, not everyone in the community is a predator, which is like what they've tried to do with some like anti-LGBT and trans rhetoric lately.
And it's because some of these pedophiles have come forward on forums stating that they should be a part of the LGBTQ community because they cannot help who they're attracted to.
Yeah, I have. That's the one that I'm glad that the community has continued to say no. I think that this last part that says consent is fundamental, and children cannot provide informed consent. So, the people in the LGBTQ plus community are consenting adults. And even if they are minors, they are not preying on children. Even if they know what their orientation is, they are not preying on children. They're not an adult preying on children, is what I'm trying to say, and screwing it up badly. But I've been
we need
told
to
many times
100% not normalize like adults being attracted to children. Full stop. Like that's full stop wrong.
I don't care if you are attracted to males, females, both, neither, whatever it is, that's acceptable. Children are not. Children are just, that's a no.
Because even if you
children can, it's important to teach kids what proper adult-child relationships should look like. And that even like teaching them that they have autonomy over their body. Like a very early thing I did with my nephews was I said, hey, if I come over for a holiday and want to give you a hug and you don't feel like it, just tell me and I'll just say bye and leave. Like, I'm not going to force you to hug me. Right.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But in terms of what they're trying to do by calling themselves MAPS is make it acceptable that
they're trying to normalize.
Kids can't consent, okay, is the point.
Yeah, absolutely. A child cannot provide informed consent.
If you cannot help who you're attracted to, that's fine, but you should not be acting on it.
Yeah.
I am not sure. I'm not sure if there's been studies on if you can maybe we need to do some cognitive behavioral therapy on them and see if that works.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, the psychology is sticking to like, they really can't help it. And in that sense, could they never do anything about it? Could a person like that just never and
Mhm.
I don't know. But that's as far as I
Right.
want to talk about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I just meant for it to be a quick little
Yep.
add-in kind of deal.
Yay!
Okay. So here we
Moving
go.
on.
Moving on to sexual orientations. Okay. So I know most of these are, like a duh moment, but anyway,
Oh.
sorry, my dogs are.
Hi, puppy. Yeah, puppy's like, I agree. No maps.
Somebody is upset.
Yeah. So anyway, lesbians are a woman who is romantically and or sexually attracted primarily to other women. Gay is someone romantically and or sexually attracted primarily to people of the same gender, often used for men attracted to men, but some women also use the term. Okay, so bisexual is basically that you are attracted to both genders. Am I correct?
Well,
To or all genders.
The old definition was binary, male, female, but with more genders coming out, I think they changed it to pretty much what you have there. You're attracted to two or more genders.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bi Manifesto that was actually published in the 90s had more of a related definition to pansexual because they were kind of like, we're not just attracted to like one gender.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? We're not heterosexual. We're not gay. We're not lesbian.
You're just attracted
not lesbian.
The person, regardless of the.
Yeah. My favorite thing was in Schitt's Creek where David said, do you know what
I'm obsessed with this. Yes.
Where he said, it's not the, what did he say? It's not the label. Oh no, now I'm messing it up. Yeah. I love the line too, but it's like, it's not the type of wine or something. I don't know. Now I've lost it. I messed that up.
And sometimes I like a rosé.
Yeah, so like bisexual, attracted to two more genders, pansexual, attracted to anyone regardless of gender. So to me, it's like kind of the same.
It's the person. Yeah. So like if you were say I was, didn't really consider myself, a lesbian. I'm straight, but y'all, okay. So say I was attracted to Mandy. It wouldn't matter if Mandy was male, female, non-binary, or what. I would just be attracted to Mandy. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like to just do simple little things, and I always use myself as an example. So yeah. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, omnisexual, attraction to people of all genders while recognizing gender is part of that attraction. Okay.
I don't really understand that one. Hales?
Yeah, do you get that one a little more?
I actually never hear omnisexual. I've heard it, but like
I've heard it used before, but for me,
maybe it's kind of a deal
so
of
maybe they're saying that like people who use gendered pronouns fit under that umbrella, like they're attracted to people's gender, maybe. I don't know.
I kind of wondered if it was that they're attracted to everybody, so basically like a bisexual or something. But if they're attracted to a person, maybe they're attracted to that person for specific gender traits, but then they could be attracted to this other person for specific gender traits. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. It just seems like that because
sometimes
recognizing gender is part of
that. Yeah, so I think maybe omnisexual kind of fits more into like a binary mindset a little bit, whereas some of the other ones to me, like pansexual to me doesn't really fit a binary because you're falling in love with the person regardless of XYZ. I mean, yes, it's part of who they are, but it's not
Yeah.
the main reason. So
Mhm.
maybe that what you were saying is more correct in that maybe
Oh,
like with omnisexual, you're attracted to multiple people, but you still kind of acknowledge like it might be a gendered trait that you're attracted to.
Yeah.
so I don't think like this, but this is the breakdown of gender is noticed. I think that's like the key
Oh, okay.
thing in it. Gender is noticed.
Yeah.
Gender plays a distinct role in their attraction. They are aware and appreciate gender expressions.
Okay. Okay.
Feels
That's
like
a
it's
good
just
way to put
very,
it.
very specific. Like it's people who are
Yeah.
very, very specific,
Yeah. Which is
and they
interesting.
and they want to notice the gender. I don't know. That's
Yeah. Okay. So
so many words, so
I
many
know.
things.
I'm loving this though. I think it's great. I would
I'm
much rather
learning a little bit
This is a good
myself.
I
example
would much
of,
rather talk to you all than go look stuff up on Google or something. You know,
I
it's way
think this
more
is a good
fun.
example of like how terminology has expanded. Even though like I'm technically a millennial, I
Mhm.
still did not grow up with these terms as a
Yeah.
center
Yeah,
for
me
our
neither.
understanding of LGBT. So like I'm not very knowledgeable on a lot of the newer ones.
Mhm.
So like we're still learning, like, you know, we might be in the community, but things
Yeah.
change over time,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely. So polysexual says attraction to multiple genders, but not necessarily all genders. So I'm assuming that that would, include male and female, and then also any non-binary, correct? But I
That
don't
kind
understand the all genders thing.
of
That
okay,
part
I get
got
it.
me a little.
I get it. So like what if I was only attracted to trans people?
Yeah.
Only trans people.
Oh yeah.
So I could still be attracted to men and women trans,
Mm-hmm.
but not necessarily anybody else. Or I could only be attracted to trans women and women and nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
mean,
true.
right,
Oh,
I'm
that
still
makes
attracted
sense.
to men, but like right now men can
Only specific men.
That's okay. I already told my men like just in the bed with all of you. Come on. Just
Spoken
kidding.
like most of the straight women at some time or another.
And then for heterosexual, the only
Yeah.
correction I would make is that you're attracted to the
Yeah.
opposite sex from when you were
Yeah.
born. So like obviously Susie and Mark are straight. Well, I mean, not to
Not obviously. I mean, you guys could be bisexual and just haven't told anyone.
no, that's true. But like, I don't know. That's did I did I read that wrong? My bad. And like that's where the norms come from in society is all heterosexual based research and understanding of how gender and sexuality work. It comes from like a heterosexual binary,
Yeah.
which is why the LGBT community became its own community because they were like, hey, we are not heteronormative. Like we lie outside the strict like male female attraction thing.
Well, if we were all accepted as we are, then we wouldn't even have to have half of these discussions.
I agree.
know,
And
right?
my controversial opinion is that I actually think it's less likely that everybody is straight.
Yeah.
I think that's like, I think it's more likely that more people would be fluid if they were allowed to be from the start.
Probably.
To figure out who they were rather than having a heteronormative culture sort of like shoved at them since birth. If that makes sense.
It makes sense, I think.
Yeah, like if people were allowed to just question and kind of be who they are, I think we would see a lot more range of attractions naturally rather than having to like come out because like we would already be accepted for who we are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think people should have to come out anyway. I
Well, I think a lot of it also stems from religion pushing heteronormative societal
Mhm.
trends onto people because of the nuclear family
Yeah.
being all a part of the traditional model. And so
Yeah.
anybody outside of that needs to be punished.
Yeah.
But here's a weird thing about history. There were known like cross-dressers or trans people in royalty. They were
Yeah.
allowed to do it
Mhm.
in their like royalty. Like it was
Mhm.
fine. Like nobody cared. I mean, they might make fun of them,
Yeah.
but they're not
Right.
going to get stoned to death like
Yeah.
like civilians would.
Mhm.
Well, and if you look back into ancient cultures where women weren't allowed to do stuff like be in the theater, you have grown men
Yeah.
cross-dressing to play female parts in the theater since
But now, how dare a
ancient
man wear a
times.
dress?
Well, just look at all of the movies where men played, played men pretending to be women. I mean, Mrs.
Mhm.
Doubtfire, there's
Mrs.
several,
Doubtfire.
and I mean,
R.I.P. Robin Williams.
I'm going to choke my dogs. I'm going to choke them.
The dogs are
Yeah,
like,
well,
yes, cross-dressers, we agree.
Yeah, it's like applause for Puppy. Puppy applause. I wish they'd just go outside. It's probably one of my neighbors is probably out in the yard, so they're just like, I'm gonna stand in the my neighbors are my family, but they do live on either side of me. But they're probably in the yard or something, and so my dogs are like, I'm gonna stand in the house and bark and act like a fool. Because they're standing in their own yard. So oh gosh, yes, take them outside for a little bit. I'll probably get in trouble. I was going to choke my dogs out. I'm not really going to choke my dogs out. They probably choke me out before my cat chokes me out by laying on my throat every night. I'm like the bottom of the chain here. Totally. Okay, so now we have asexual, which says experiences little or no sexual attraction. Some asexual people still desire romantic relationships.
And that is an umbrella. Like, I think that's more of an umbrella term because the next one you have listed, demisexual, technically falls under the asexual umbrella with the stipulation like, hey, I gotta like trust and know you first before we do anything. Like, we gotta be friends first.
Yeah, and I'm demisexual.
What?
Same.
I'm demisexual. I did not understand even what demisexual was. And it's not that like you can't have sexual attraction before like becoming friends. It's more like the sexual attraction kind of grows more, and I physically don't feel comfortable being intimate until I know someone.
That's
so like I really like to form a strong I like to form that strong emotional bond first, and then
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah. I'm excited that I got to be more than just the heterosexual
I'm not friend zoning you. I'm friendshipping you so we can move forward. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Maybe. Possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
We're gonna see.
No, like I noticed it more being demi when I was on dating sites because people would get frustrated with me that I wouldn't like send them 2 messages and then meet them in person. I'm like, yo, that's way too fast. You gotta talk to me for at least a month.
Yeah.
And then I'll meet you for coffee. But like we are not talking day 2 and meeting in real life. Like that's too fast.
I'm also all about like chemistry. Like so like I don't know. I go with kind of like how my body is also reacting to that other person's like vibe, chemistry, aura, whatever.
Yeah. I agree.
And sometimes all I want to do is just make out and like and then nothing else. And it's making out is fun.
It's fun. I'm like, man, when we were teenagers, we used to just make out. It wasn't, always straight to sex. Although
And then, but then remember when you're like a teenager and then you have to like find random places, the car, the woods, your friend's house.
Definitely the woods was popular. We had like a forest preserve around my area.
Well,
You're
I
like,
live out in
Mom,
the
see you
sticks.
before curfew. Bye.
I
Where are
do
you
not
going?
su-
The
I do
woods.
not suggest the beach. No sand.
Ooh,
No
no,
sand.
no.
I
It was
also kind
funny
of
with-
don't suggest doing the woods like just by
I got
yourself
poison
with
ivy
people.
once.
That probably wasn't my best decision.
Yeah.
I
If you're
was
gonna
big in
if
the-
you're gonna go all up in the woods, know where poison ivy is.
well, we would drive into the woods, but then we would stay in the vehicle. We thought we were so clever that he's now my ex-husband, but he would have like a blow up mattress thing in the back of his truck and all this stuff. Like we were like bougie teenagers romping, you know.
That's so funny.
So I mean, you know, I wasn't going to go get in any ticks or anything. I had to be, you know.
Hashtag ticks are not cute.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so gray sexual. So experiences sexual attraction rarely and under very specific circumstances. Wow.
Yeah, I think a friend of mine actually realized that about himself.
Really?
And he's like in his 40s. I mean, it's not that like you don't like have attraction and don't have
Mhm.
sex, but it's like it says under
Yeah.
very specific situations. And unfortunately, he got a divorce because
Aw.
you know, they just weren't compatible anymore
Mhm.
in that way. But yeah, like he's in his 40s and he didn't even know until now,
Oh.
like
That even was a thing. I had never heard
Yeah.
of it. I mean, I've heard of people that are like that, but I've never heard like a you know,
but he
total-
has found another person who is totally fine with that.
Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. So I'm going to grab these. I've got a couple of starred ones I'm going to go ahead and grab real quick before we go on. This one says, hello to everyone. I just joined the chat regarding Matt being wrong. Children cannot consent. I agree totally. But then by a child consenting to a sex change, okay.
Kids are not having sex changes.
Yeah,
Clothes and changing your hair are
not a sex
not.
change.
No, they're not doing surgery. There is very, very few. There are a couple cases where a couple of people at 16 and 17 did undergo some sex reassignment surgery, but it's extremely rare. They're not having surgery.
And I want to jump in and say,
I'm not lying.
I just want to jump in and say too, like, there's also a difference in scientific research to show that as you become an older teen, maybe like 16, 17, that starting hormone blockers doesn't do you any harm. And so like they're not going to start you on HRT probably till like 18 or 19 because that's a huge hormone, like consideration. But I think it's important to let kids express themselves, and maybe it can go a whole lot of different ways. Like maybe you let your kid express themselves, they decide no. Heck, I know adults who went through full transition and then realized partway through, well, they didn't do any surgeries, but they did the hormones. They noticed partway through, I still have dysphoria. I don't really know. So they detransition. Like, this is what I'm saying is it's fluid. And the fact that people are trying to force these strict boundaries, I think that's what does the harm.
Mhm.
So very rarely will they agree to do top or bottom surgery on a child. Like you have to be at least 18 for that.
Yeah.
Like legally and safely, because it's a pretty big commitment, not just
It is
expensive, but the commitment for the healing part of it is really a lot of work. Like I have supported several friends through top surgery recovery, and it's a lot to it's a lot to handle. So
Mhm.
And so
definitely having
that's why
discussions
it's
with kids is
very
important. But yeah,
that's why it's very valid that if a trans person does not want to do any surgery, that's fine. Like
Yeah.
surgery is scary.
Hmm.
Like there's lots of risks that go in with any surgery. Do you know how many people die from getting
Yeah. Just
BBLs,
yeah.
a Brazilian butt lift? People
Yeah.
die on the table or die like soon after because it's so
Absolutely.
dangerous.
Mhm.
Like
and that's the thing is most times if a kid has done the research and wants it in the future, all that will happen is their parents will take them to a top surgeon and the surgeon will be like, hey, come back in 4 years when you're like 18 and we can discuss like if you still want this. So it's like there's safeguards worked into the process.
I feel
Yeah,
like that person wasn't being genuine anyway. If someone wants to genuinely learn, they don't act like that.
No, I banned them. So, and my
and
mods
I had
already done it, but I
ignorances
did
too,
it.
like about situations, but luckily I had people that were able to point me towards sources too. So like
Yeah.
that's comes back to last episode when we're like, hey, not everybody in the LGBT community is a perfect ally for everyone. Like I'm still
Absolutely.
learning constantly and reading new sources and understanding new things. So it is like
Mhm.
an evolving process.
Absolutely.
Life is ever evolving. Like the stuff that we know that we didn't know 50 years ago, like people act like, oh, why is all these new terms?
Yeah.
Things change. It's
Yeah.
okay.
All
Roll with
progress.
it.
Yeah.
And these
Roll with
terms were there. We were just forced to use them secretly or underground for our safety. That
Yeah.
comes back to the safety discussion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, like when it comes to the safety discussion, and I forgot to mention this in the last episode, and I tell kids this when they ask me, should they come out? Make sure that you're safe.
Yeah.
You're going to lose your home, your safety, your security. It probably is not worth it. And it's more important that you're safe. And
Yeah.
if you're being abused, there are going to be plenty of organizations out there that can help you.
Absolutely.
And safety
So,
too, like, you know, I had a friend who wasn't close with their parents, knew it probably wouldn't go well, but then another one of our friends' parents took them in for basically the rest of high school because they got kicked out. So it's like safety, your safety is the number one most important thing
Absolutely.
with
Absolutely.
any of these discussions. And also like being a safe adult and advocating can also put you in danger. So just make
Mhm.
sure if you are an advocating adult that you also have support system
Mhm.
and a safety plan, because there's some people who just will react
Mhm.
violently to LGBT people regardless of if you've done something to deserve it or not.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. I hate that we had a troll. I guess there's always got to be one little
It's
asshole.
fine. Whatever.
But let's see here. Okay. Romantic orientations. And a lot of this we're going to be repetitive, but I think
Yeah.
that's how it sinks into our brains is sometimes by being repetitive with it. So,
That's true.
you know, so romantic attraction and sexual attraction are not always the same, which is interesting. I really think that's interesting.
Yep.
So, aromantic experiences little or no romantic attraction. So, biromantic, I can't talk today. Romantic attraction to more than one gender. Panromantic, boy, I cannot read. Romantic attraction regardless of gender. Homoromantic, romantic attraction to the same gender, or heteroromantic, romantic attraction to a different gender. So basically, it's the same as what we've already talked about, just different terms that we might hear thrown out there. And so
Yeah,
I think
because
that
like
Because people,
romance can include like intimacy. So
Mhm.
like you
yeah.
could be you yourself could be like me, I'm bisexual, but also I'm demi. Like I need to be friends first, right?
Yeah.
So I would say that sometimes it matches up. Like you might meet someone who's ace arrow. Like, hey, I don't have much sexual attraction or romance, but I could be a great platonic, connection.
Yeah.
And I know somebody who's and it's how you feel about yourself is the important thing. Like, I think defining terms can help people either, like, unfortunately, in order to get access to care, trans people do have to go through like therapy and be diagnosed with like gender dysphoria, or at least have like a doctor back up that they should start like going through the process. This is why I'm saying like
It takes years.
it takes years. So even if a kid comes out, it's not like they can wake up the next morning and go get HRT or whatever. They need to actually be evaluated, which can be good and bad. But I think also the terms can help people understand themselves. So it's whatever you feel drawn to for yourself, and don't have to feel pressured to define it a specific way to fit in. But there is that pressure in the community because of the pushback that the LGBT community has gotten, so
I get that.
terminology is one of those complicated things that can be useful, but also kind of frustrating.
Oh yeah, I get it. I truly do.
And also people will immediately just put, like, if you talk about romance, they immediately think about sex as well. Like they're the same thing, or they have to come together, but they don't have to.
Yeah.
And that's where like polyamory and like open relationships, non-ethical monogamy comes in, because some people are really, really love each other, but they're not sexually compatible, or and so they'll go off and get like what they need out of other people, and as long as like everybody's consenting and open and communication, like there's nothing wrong with it.
That's a part of the reason my last long-term relationship ended, is because I was very attracted to the person, but like had no sexual attraction to them. I was like, objectively, you're hot, but I just don't feel a spark. But I am in love with you.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I think I'm monogamous. And I was like, well, I'm poly, so maybe this won't work. But it's it's also though like communication, and like it's okay if you don't know. Like sometimes you find out by doing, which can be awkward, because then you're like, oh wait, just kidding, not for me. But like, don't feel pressure to try to have your entire world figured out by the time you're 20. Like that's impossible. I sure didn't. It took me 22 years to realize I didn't just like men.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back, there were signs. But did I realize them till I was 22? No. And then I came out to my
people
dad,
just
and
don't
he was
think
like,
about it.
Yeah.
I went to my dad and I'm like, I think I also like girls. And he's like, yeah, I figured. I'm like, what do you mean you figured? When did you figure it out?
Yeah.
He was like, I can't tell you your own identity, though. That's the thing, is like, you have to figure that out yourself.
I did that with my best friend that I grew up with. I knew he was gay. I feel like I was the only one that knew he was gay. And like his mom and my grandmother were like, oh my God, Mandy and blah, blah, blah is going to get married. And I'm like, we're just like, what? That's the other thing I hate, that when adults do that to children, like it's so awkward. But yeah, he eventually came out in high school. And what's hilarious is like, I'm a little bit older than him. So once he got to 9th grade, all these girls were coming to me like, oh my God, can you introduce me to, because he's so hot. And he took 2 girls to homecoming, and he left with me and going, oh my God, I can't do that again. I was like, yeah, what were you trying to do?
That's hilarious. Taking 2 girls.
That's
but
funny.
like they were fine with it because he was like, I don't know which one to choose, and they were like, well, we can both go.
And I think
And
that's the
so
thing too, is like when you have somebody in your life that you feel comfortable telling, it kind of makes it less scary to do the exploration. And like I feel like there's this huge pressure from society to be like, you get a one and done. So if you come out as one thing, you can't backtrack it,
yeah,
and that's the rest of your life forever. And I'm like, that it categorically does not work that way.
Yeah.
yeah. And like also with my friend when he came out, like I was just like you and your family, like, yeah, I knew. Like we never talked about it, but like even when he like was dating my cousin, I was just like, this is not gonna last. Like
I have an inside joke with one of my good high school friends. And like the TLDR of it is that two of the people I lived with ended up being trans men. And then me and this friend would have lived together, but they ended up going to California for a time. But then they also came out. And I was like, oh, the only thing you didn't do was live with me. You would have been 3 for 3. I don't know. My friends were just like, there was just something comforting about you that made it easy to like let myself question things. And like,
Yeah.
listen, I only know myself. That's the beautiful thing, is like, you can only know who you are if you ask the question. Has anyone ever considered and sat down and journaled, am I straight?
Yeah.
Have you ever questioned? Because if you just ask the question and the answer is yes, that's fine. I'm literally not judging, but like a lot of people don't even have an open horizon to even consider there's something else.
Yeah. I've questioned myself. Just, I mean, like I didn't have like any reason, I wasn't like suddenly finding myself attracted to women or whatever, but I just was like, am I just straight because that's what I'm supposed to be, or am I straight,
mm-hmm.
And so I think it's great to question yourself. I think that it's healthy.
And it's okay to experiment too.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't necessarily mean you are like one thing or another when like you experiment. It's just like you're testing yourself. You're like, is this okay? Like, do I like this? Like, here's another example of like you label yourself whatever you feel. A friend of mine, she would be technically pansexual or bisexual, but she considers herself a lesbian because yes, she experiences sexual attraction to men and will have sex with them, but she doesn't want to marry them. She married a woman. So she considers herself whatever she wants long term, like to build a life with. So even though she could like theoretically, and she has slept with men and it's fine, like she just considers herself a lesbian.
Yeah, I've kissed a girl before more than once. I
kissed a girl and I liked it.
This was before the song. I'm old, y'all. I did things before the song. It wasn't for me, and so I thought, well, I guess that means I'm probably straight.
Or maybe it wasn't the right girl.
Yeah, I could not be the right girl. I did it twice. They're different girls, actually. I experimented again, y'all.
It was so funny.
I love this conversation.
I had a really good friend in high school who is like a sister to me, but like at the time, she was the only person I really talked to who was like, I'm bi. And so one night when I was sleeping over at her house, I was like, well, could we try making out just to see, like,
yeah.
And I realized, oh, okay, girls are cute, but like she's not, like we're definitely like sibling energy.
Yeah.
And then I like didn't think about it. And like when I say I literally mentally lived as a straight person for 22 years, like just mentally, like I considered that like my one time experimenting. And then I got into college and one of my friends is like, are you sure you only like men? And I was like,
are you
that's fair? And it was my gay friend. He's like, I think you're lying to yourself halfway. Like, I think you might be bi. And I was like, how did you know?
Aw. Yeah. yeah, I was actually in my 30s and then 40s whenever I was wondering, but it just I don't know, it was just like one of those I wonder, but
Hmm.
it just didn't pan out for me. Anyway, no pun intended. So let's see what this one says. Okay. Gender identities. So we know that transgender is a person whose gender identity differs from the sex assigned at birth. And cisgender is a person whose gender identity aligns with the sex assigned at birth. Non binary is someone whose gender identity is not exclusively male or female. Gender fluid is a person whose gender identity changes or shifts over time. Agender is someone who identifies as having no gender. And bigender is a person who identifies with two genders. So I thought that was pretty clear. For a long
Yep.
time, I didn't
I
know
would say,
what
like,
cis was. I had to look it up because I didn't know what cis was. I was like, what
Yeah,
is
it's just a prefix. Trans
Yeah.
means opposite
Yeah.
of, cis means on the same side of.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
found all
believe,
that out, but it took me a while.
like for me, I'm agender, but I function in the social world as non-binary
Mm-hmm.
because it's just easier to use they them pronouns than it is to use no pronouns.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I just don't prefer her. So like I've been sirred before and I was like, yeah, I vibe with that.
I like
Like
sir.
anytime someone's like ma'am and I'm like, anything but the ma'am.
I don't like the ma'am. But I did get called sir in the hospital. I was like, I mean, seriously, right now I could understand it, especially, if I was like not dressed more feminine or whatever. But at the time I had like really large boobs, was wearing a dress. I mean, I guess that didn't matter. I could have been male, but at the same time I'm like, where is this nurse coming up with sir? I don't know. She was weird though.
Yeah, I do have a friend, a male friend who is male, but
Mhm.
always dresses really nice, like nice high heels and everything.
Yeah.
Like, and he has a son and he's married. And it took him a while, like he works at Microsoft, and it took him a while to feel comfortable enough to start dressing like that at work because
Wow.
and he would like test it out. At first, he just wore heels, something small that maybe someone wouldn't notice, and then slowly started like changing the way he looked, and people were fine with it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that most people, honestly, are fine with stuff. It's just that the assholes are louder.
Mhm.
Like,
well, we got to be louder than them.
Nobody will
that's
ever change my mind. Clothes do not have a gender.
Yeah.
Point blank. Like I don't
Like,
know
why is it
aside from
okay
body
for
shape stuff?
Yeah, why is it okay for women to wear pants, but men can't wear skirts or dresses?
Yeah.
What?
I
That's
mean, if
stupid.
you also
like
look at men's
myself.
fashion from like prior to the industrial era, like again, patterns,
Very flamboyant.
ruffles, colors, expression, like just let kids and whoever wear what they're comfortable wearing.
For a while, everyone wore dresses because it was just easier.
Yeah.
And togas are
Absolutely.
basically dresses made out of one piece of fabric.
Yeah.
And we could also look at the history of fashion in like other countries, because
Mhm.
I love fashion. I
Me
love
too.
looking at like the Met Gala and
Mhm.
like the Met's like different exhibitions right now. Their
Mhm.
exhibition is so beautiful. They have a new exhibition on music versus with the body, and like seeing how musical instruments emulate the body and gender. There was like a whole discussion on like musical
Wow.
instruments even embodying like gender. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that sounds like it. I have to go.
But yeah, like in other countries, like look at Japan, like it was all like dresses, and even still now, like men will wear really long dresses and skirts.
Mhm. Mm-hmm.
or pants that are just like huge.
Like Scotland and I mean,
Kilts.
yeah, absolutely. There ain't nothing really any sexier than wondering
I
what is
love
is
the
not
kilt.
underneath there.
I love the kilt.
Well, I was thinking about it too, that like it is completely acceptable if I had on a pair of Levi's and a flannel shirt, which could kind of be more traditionally male, and yet it's fine for me to wear that. But then if it's something that's a little more traditionally female, people frown on it if a male wears it. And so it's just, weird, just not right at all. I'm gonna, while we're sitting here talking, I've got, I think, 3 more slides I want to bring to the.
We've stayed mostly on topic. It's great.
Yep.
I know.
I love slides.
I do too.
And I think this way it let us kind of like by slide be like, oh, hey, this is how I feel about myself, and kind of work that into a more natural part of the conversation.
That's not what I'm trying to do. Oh, here we go. I don't know what I am doing.
I'm glad I don't have to hold my phone with my hands right now. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's steadier for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to remove this one, put this next one up. Hopefully I haven't. Okay, now we have romantic orientations.
Wait, did we already go through this one?
Oh, I think we might have. Yep, we sure did. Okay. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, okay. I know what I'm doing now. I'm a little, well, that one's on there again. Did Susie like really just do the same ones over and over? Okay. So, relationship structures. So, polyamorous is having or being open to multiple consensual romantic relationships. Polyamory is considered a relationship style rather than a sexual orientation. And umbrella terms, queer is a broad term used by many whose sexual orientation or gender identity falls outside of traditional heterosexual or cisgender norms. Some older individuals may still view the word negatively because it was historically used as
we already talked about all that. Yep. Great.
And someone who is exploring or unsure of their sexual orientation or gender identity. So I think the only one that we didn't really go into a lot would be the polyamorous, is having or being open to multiple.
Are you able to bring up the picture I sent you with the it was the umbrella with the words below it?
I can go get it. Actually, it'll take me a minute. So y'all talk.
So I will say, like, for me, I don't think polyamory was as much in the social discussion as it is now growing up. Mm-hmm. So for me, when I was first in college and realized I was in love with 2 people at the same time, I kind of had like another mini meltdown because I was like, no one told me this was a thing. Like,
yeah.
Well, so, I didn't, and I didn't start hearing of it until in my 20s. And honestly, like, I felt more like I wanted that structure, but I didn't know how to do it or get someone to agree to it. So I just never tried until I met my husband.
So what happened was I was in college and I was in love with this guy named, I'm just going to use his first initial, T. And like we started dating, and then I kind of like hung out with him and his best friend. And then somewhere along the way, I was like, I cannot be in love with him and his best friend at the same time. Like, I'm monogamous. Mm-hmm. And then one of my other friends was like, well, have you heard of polyamory? And I was like, no, what's that?
Yeah.
And so it was kind of one of those destabilizing things for me where like my current world at that time shifted, because I really tried to just make up any reason. I was like, I probably only think I like him because he's my boyfriend's best friend and we're hanging out all the time and we have a lot in common, but we're just friends and there's no way I can be in love with him. And then my brain was like, sorry to break it to you, but you want to be with both of them. And I'm like, but they're monogamous. So yeah, so then I was like starting to open up to one of my other friends, and he told me about this book called Mandy, is it called The Ethical Slut?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's called The Ethical Slut, and it's pretty much recommended as like an intro book to ethical non-monogamy.
Yeah.
And that was
But-
kind of what started me on my journey, but I haven't yet been in an extended relationship. So far, my only 2 other serious relationships in adult were kind of with monogamous people. So I didn't really get to like explore that part of my life.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would say polyamory kind of snuck up on me in the dark and was like, surprise, I'm here.
Incarno Soul says the Tartan army invaded Boston for these last couple of weeks with tremendous success.
Woo!
Yes, World Cup,
Yeah.
soccer. Anyway,
Here
it's like-
is the thing that Mandy made, actually.
Well, I didn't make it, I found it.
Oh.
But yeah. This is just like sort of an overview of some of the terms that are under
Mhm.
ethical non-monogamy. But there's a long list of like things within that I haven't even like touched, because again, more words, more terms, I get overwhelmed.
Yeah, me too. So it could be with polyamory, swinging, open relationships, relationship anarchy, hierarchical, polycule, friends with benefits, and casual dating. Got friends with benefits
I don't
And notice
understand.
what is not on this list and
What?
confused with polyamory, polygamy. They're not the
I'm-
same thing. That's a pretty fairly common mistake I've heard people make,
Yeah.
equating polyamory with polygamy. The big difference there is polyamory is consensual non-monogamy with more than one partner of the gender or genders you are attracted to.
Yeah.
Polygamy, culty? Question mark.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's usually polygamists are usually the ones who are Mormon who still believe in polygamy and then branch off. But there are people who consensually have that relationship lifestyle, same as like women with multiple men. I mean, there are like places in the world that it's a matriarchal society.
Yeah.
But on this umbrella, I would say polycule isn't a separate thing. I feel like it's part of polyamory, and polycule just means like it's the network of partners that you guys have, and you can you don't have to be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
You could live together. There are people who have polycules that actually live together or have kids and they raise all the kids together. They split the bills, Swinging, I'm sure that everybody knows what swinging is. Do we need to tell them? Swinging is when you go to a party and you like swap keys and stuff and just go home with someone random.
I found out not very long ago that
And they use an
some of my
upside down
relatives
pineapple
I was just like,
to donate to differentiate that they swing.
like I don't think bad about anybody, but I was just a little bit disturbed to find out that one of my aunt and uncles were swingers, and I was just like, I did not need to know that information. That's like, it's fine, whatever you want to do, but don't tell me. Yeah. And don't invite me. No.
And similarly, like open relationships can be any of, like, swinging is technically an open relationship because you have like your main person, but you switch off with other people sometimes. So that would not be considered like a closed dynamic. Like monogamy would be a closed dynamic where you and your one person are together with only each other. In case anyone was confused.
There's a lot of terms. There's like the unicorn relationship where it's like the person is dating the couple instead of just one person. They're dating both of them at the same time.
Well, that would be, so like being unicorn hunted is actually like something that happens in the polyamory community when someone expects you to also fall in love with their partner. That happened to
Yeah.
me. I would say a triad is if
A
like
triad,
you
okay.
consent to being with both partners, where it's like, okay, I have the understanding from the beginning that the three of us are supposed to be a thing. Because as a demisexual, it was not fun to have it sprung on me that I was also supposed to be into someone's husband who I had not spoken to for any amount of time. I was like, that's going to take 3 months, because it took me like 2 months to get comfortable with you. And we just started hanging out.
Gosh.
Relation anarchy, just basically like there's no hierarchy, everybody is equal on all playing ground. Whereas hierarchical, word, poly, is where there's like everybody kind of has like their primary and then their secondary, and like there's like an actual hierarchy within the polycule. I don't really like doing that. To me, I mean, even though I have a husband, like to me, like I still am like relationship anarchy, I guess, because for me, like I treat everybody equal.
Yeah.
As much as possible, as much as I can. I mean, and Google Calendar is your best friend because it's a lot of scheduling.
Oh yeah, yeah, lots of schedules.
I think that's why some people don't do. Some of my friends are like, I would be into that, but I don't have that much time.
Yeah.
That's it too. Like it takes time to find what works for you as well. So like I think terminology can help you understand what options are out there, but you decide ultimately how your relationships function.
Absolutely.
With your group. Like, so for example, not everybody in polyamory calls their like extended group a polycule.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just like, here's me and my partners or whatever.
Yeah, like not all my partners hang out with each other. It's not that they're not friends, but they just don't have anything to talk about, really. Like some of my partners just like are total opposites. Like it's not like they're not going to get along. They're just like, yeah, you know what I mean? And then we know what friends with benefits is, and then there's also the casual dating. The other thing that I would
that's a friend who also has benefits.
The thing I would add in also is like kink and BDSM, because a lot of people who are poly or, you know, in open relationships, they also participate in kink and sex parties, BDSM and stuff like that. And the kink community has always been demonized as well, especially because of religion.
And people misunderstanding. Like the biggest thing is with BDSM, it's 2 or more consenting adults.
Yeah. It's
so
all about
scenario
consent.
They might make everybody's consenting to that. They have their own safety net set up to stop things they're uncomfortable with. And if people don't listen, that means that person who didn't listen is a bad person.
Yeah.
Just like it would be in a monogamous relationship.
Yeah, with any relationship. Absolutely. Even friendships. You know, if the person is not listening and respecting the other people in any kind of a relationship, from friendship to whatever, they're the bad person. You know, if they're just not being respectful and kind.
Yeah, but like Mandy was saying, like a lot of these communities started as underground groups because they were like really misunderstood, and some of them were actually made illegal. So like not only did they have to fight for like the legal right to exist, but also like fight against stereotypes. So that's why we say like umbrella terms are there to capture like a range of a spectrum. There we go. There's the word I was looking for, a spectrum. And you can fall at any point of that spectrum.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I really do. I never thought that I was just like never thought that I would be like interested in any kind of, I don't know what you would call it, until I started reading and then watching 50 Shades of Grey, and then I'm like, okay, kind
Yeah,
of get
50 Shades of Grey actually
kind
made
of get
the
it.
BDSM community upset because there's kind of a lack of consent in that
Yeah,
book.
yeah.
It's
But I,
he's pretty abusive.
mhm. But just the
Do
actual acts,
not
I
get
was
me
like, well, that don't
started
sound so bad.
on the problems with 50 Shades of Grey. But I will
So I
say,
understand that end of it completely.
Yeah.
if
But
anyone wants a good series, and this was actually started online by a comic artist in retaliation to 50 Shades of Grey's
really,
misinformation, Sunstone by Stephen Sedgwick is an amazing multi-issue series of
mhm,
graphic novels that trace a group of people and their different identities in the BDSM community, and shows like a healthy approach, or if
mhm,
characters didn't have healthy experiences, it
mhm.
walks the reader through like why this wasn't good, and like how you can come back from healing and regain trust with people and all
Yeah,
this stuff, because
Hmm.
like 50 Shades of Grey is dangerous. He like,
like I didn't like him. I never
don't
liked
come for
him,
me community,
but
but like he is a stalker. He's a
yeah,
stalker who did not
Hmm.
respect her boundaries and then put
absolutely.
her in a contract she wasn't prepared for and was abusive.
Was there even a safe word?
No, not that I
See,
remember.
safe words are important, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's to say,
You know,
like,
I think that a safe word is not necessarily bad for any relationship because, like,
No,
even just anything can just, like, you know,
go a little too
go
far.
a little
Like,
too far, than what you're
well,
also
can't.
too, like one of the
comfortable with
things
that,
I
even if it's
established
just that
with
day.
partners was also like, after I had some trauma, I was like, hey, if I make this hand signal, like you stop, because I'm disassociating and
Yeah.
like I can't talk when I'm in that state.
Yeah, that's
So
a
like there's
yeah.
all sorts of fail safes you can have. Like, so if you have a safe word, a safe signal, like even just saying stop should be enough, but
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
we know where that
Pineapple.
goes.
Pineapple.
Only if you're a swinger.
Oh, yeah. Now that I know the upside down pineapple, I got to change that. I guess peaches. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what
Kiwi?
they say too. Like, I think it's good that we can laugh and kind of like point out, like, hey, like, if you're confused about something, or like you want to know more information, just ask a question. And the thing is, like, most of the time, I'm the type of person who will answer you, even if afterwards I'm like, hey, maybe if you have another question in that same vein, you could phrase it like this. It's a little less
Yeah, I get that.
XYZ. But like, I think
Yeah.
the thing with ignorance is that not everybody is doing it on purpose. Some people are just located in areas that don't have access to correct information. And so it
Hmm.
may be coming from a point of like, they've never heard anything different. So they don't know how to ask, like,
Mhm.
what they mean to ask. So I try to give people the benefit of the doubt there, of like, not everybody who asks me an offensive question maybe meant it offensively,
Oh,
but like
yeah.
you can
Hmm.
definitely tell when they do. But I'm just
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
like,
I agree.
to be open to questions that people want to ask, because that's the only way they'll learn. It's the only way I've learned,
Mhm.
is to
Yeah.
ask. I
We're
didn't know
not
what gray
born knowing.
sexual was.
We're
I
not
had to
we're
learn.
not born knowing any of this. It's
Hmm.
all a learning experience. So,
Is that
well,
all the slides?
that's all the slides.
Can you put up that last picture for me that I
The
sent you?
the one that I already had up or a different one?
No, it's a different one. I sent
Oh,
it right before the live. I'm
okay,
sorry.
hold on. Let me run right back over here. Yeah, y'all
Because
can just keep talking and
I was reminiscing, and I think I don't know if you would want to do it. I might do it with Hales on my own channel, but talk about more of the hardship stuff
Yeah.
of the
Absolutely.
community and what has happened. Because those are hard conversations
Oh,
to
yeah.
have.
Absolutely. Okay, hold on just a second.
But I really, really appreciate the questions. I appreciate Hales too, because Hales can like really take the rein on things and explain things a little bit better than I can sometimes.
I'm passionate about it.
Well, it's not passionate about it, but sometimes I don't quite know how to explain things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just a drop in the bucket of the people that we have lost. These were some of the biggest cases in the news when they happened. All of these people are very young, except for Harvey Milk.
Yeah.
As you can see, I even have a 15-year-old on there.
God, they're just kids, man. Fuck.
They're like, yeah, they're all just kids. So they're the top 4. I know they made movies, or no, they didn't make a movie about Matthew Shepard, did they? I think it was just Harvey, Brandon Teena, and Rebecca Wright that they made movies about. I'm the movie Milk.
Boys Don't Cry is the one for Tina.
Yeah. So Milk has what's his name in it? Oh shoot. Sean Penn. Sean Penn plays Harvey Milk. It's a really good movie. And it is really sad to know that the guy who shot and killed Harvey and killed the mayor of San Francisco that day only got 2 years in prison. I don't remember the conviction on Brandon Teena, but Brandon Teena was a trans man, and they made the movie Boys Don't Cry with Hilary Swank in it.
Yeah, what happened with Tina, so I'll just use her name because, wait, hang on. Sorry, was she F to F? His name, sorry. I got switched in my brain. So Brandon was essentially just starting to do like binding and dressing more masculine and trying to like go out and live his life.
Yeah.
And he essentially got like gang beat by people in his town.
That movie was
it was hard.
It was,
and he was young. He was like
18,
young,
19,
so, yeah.
19, I think.
Yeah.
19,
really young. Rebecca Wright, her and her partner were camping, and a guy got upset that 2 girls were kissing and about to make love, and so he rolled up on their campsite and shot both of them, and her partner survived, but Rebecca did not. And they did make a movie about it, but I do not remember the name of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of these people were the biggest stories at the time, and
and
a lot. We've lost a lot of people, especially trans women.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a majority of people of color in that.
Yeah.
Trans women spectrum.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them are people of color. And that's the other thing. Trans women of color are targeted more. Trans men are not targeted as much as trans women, but they are still targeted. And the common denominator is they're all of these were at the hands of men. When's the last time you heard of women like just beating to death lesbians?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. Men are the problem. And it's all because of toxic masculinity and these like notions that like gayness is like a threat to your manhood. Like but I just wanted to pay like respect to these precious souls that we lost.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so glad you made that. I didn't see it. I had already
of like people. Like last year, I remember looking up, like in February of last year, I was like, oh, I wonder what the statistic on like trans deaths is. And it was already like 7 people that were like killed or committed suicide because of the way things are. So like these are real people, okay? Like they're trying to live authentically as themselves, and
who
they
are they
aren't
hurting?
hurting anyone,
Absolutely. They're not hurting anyone.
you know?
The only
Right.
one that I did not put up there because there is no picture is a 3-year-old. A man decided that he didn't want his boy to grow up gay, so he was trying to teach him how to fight at 3 years old. And at one point, the child was taken from him, and then CPS gave the child back. And yeah, all because he's afraid. He was afraid of his child being gay. A 3-year-old.
Yeah.
So bless them. Hopefully, we can. Hopefully, change comes sooner rather than later. But I honestly am having very little hope at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's why we need community, because if we all band together, like people have had to do this before when people were illegal to even exist.
Yeah.
How did they survive? Community.
Mm-hmm. That's why I wanted to do these shows, is because I wanted to bring awareness to the community, because I think that awareness gets rid of fear. You know, if you know,
education also helps with empathy.
Yes. And you know, we're not saying that you have to like it, agree with it, or whatever, but they are not hurting anybody. These are 2 of the kindest souls that you will ever meet, and I know lots of other people who are.
Oh, stop it! You're gonna make me cry.
Kindest souls. I mean,
I was gonna say too, like,
and it. I can't
we're
imagine
not saying
hating
that
you
like
or being
every
afraid of you.
person needs to like go front lines on a march or whatever, but things you can do, like find out who your Senate, find out who your state representatives are in your state government.
Absolutely.
The people that are going to like the Senate and House of Representatives, your mayors, your city folk, like go to your city councils, advocate for these children.
These lower ones are the ones with the power, the lower level politicians, all the way to like Senate, and then of course like Supreme Court and stuff. But everybody thinks that it is the president, but even the president has to answer to someone else eventually. So
yeah, I was gonna say, like, the thing is, you can always educate yourself, you can educate others, you can be that safe person for other people when you're out in public. Like, you can do small things, like, but honestly, like, stepping up to be active members of your community and showing that you disagree with people trying to take people's rights away. Like, why is a bathroom such a fucking big deal in 2026?
Did you all hear about the dad that took his 2 daughters into the women's restroom?
And that dude made his kids cry. They were sitting there crying, washing their hands. I just wanted to.
Oh, I did too.
Are you serious?
I thought, you know what? If a man came in there and was like, "Hey, I've got my, I'm a single dad, or I'm here with my daughters," didn't have to be single, but you know what I mean. I'm here with my daughters. They need to use the bathroom. I would be like, there's
really good initiatives out there. I saw it on Facebook, but I forgot to actually type in the URL to copy the link. But there's a link going around with a pin designed by the LGBT community that basically says what my shirt says, which is like, I'm a safe space, or I'm a safe person. Get something like that if you want to be an ally and like show support in public, then people know that they can approach you without being worried. I don't care what bathroom you need me to go in. I actually don't give a flying F. I have gone in the men's bathroom for myself. I will go into whatever bathroom, whatever
I've
person
gotten-
needs me to go in with them or
His-
whatever.
I've gotten yelled at before.
Was so correct, was that he did not want his daughters going into the men's restroom where there are urinals and men are standing there with their penises out.
Hmm.
So at least in where there's little individual stalls, nobody saw anything. I
Why
mean,
can't
I
they
think
just start
it
putting
would be-
urinals in like stalls? Like,
Yeah,
why do they always have to be out in the
Also, here's
open?
the thing, like,
it's
wild
kind of
thought,
weird.
there's so many places and restaurants I've been to where they didn't have enough space to put a full-on like multi-stall bathroom. So they have single-use, multi-gendered bathrooms with a toilet and a urinal. And I guarantee you, most men who use those flip the toilet seat up and pee in the toilet.
Yeah.
So like these conversations are
I don't really
bordering on the line
know
of,
that many
like-
men who like urinals.
Do you use a
Yeah, but
urinal
all
or
that
a
to say
toilet?
is like, I know that not everybody has the ability to do like physical marches or anything like that, but there's petitions going around. There's organizations like the Trevor Project, which is an amazing organization that you should donate to because they have a huge capacity to help the LGBT community and youth specifically by providing like LGBT friendly care, and they have like a suicide prevention hotline specifically run by other LGBT people. So like, yeah, if friends share links, and I know it's tough out there, so I'm not saying you have to give, but if you're thinking like, what could I do? Like,
Yeah.
who should I give? Like the Trevor
look
Project is
interesting.
definitely one of those big initiatives that I would recommend supporting. Thank you
Well,
for coming to
y'all.
my TED Talk.
I'm going to go ahead and call this an evening, if that is okay with both of you. I would love to have you both back again at some point. We will figure out what we want to talk about. And I would love to have you both come back often. I have really enjoyed.
Or
Yes.
on my channel.
Or on your channel. I'll come
Or
over.
oh wait, this way is Hales. Or on Hales'
Hi.
channel.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks
am
for having
open
us
for
again,
it.
Susie.
No problem. Thank you both for being here. I really do appreciate it so much. Neither one of you even like acted like that you for a minute thought about saying no. You just both were like, sure, immediately whenever I asked. I was just like, oh, yay.
Well, I mean, as long as someone's genuinely curious, like wanting to know things, like yes,
Yeah.
ask questions. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
want to. That's when I want to educate people who are actually curious. Like, if you're gonna be like that dude and like
Yeah.
that wasn't genuine, I could tell right off the bat that wasn't genuine.
I've never seen that name before, so I'm sure it's just somebody scrolling and acting like a butthole.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well, thank you so
anyway,
much.
Thank you. Thank you all. I'm going to go ahead and bump you all
Thank
off the
you so
screen
much.
and say goodbye, and I will talk to you in a day or two, probably. Love you all. Yeah. Okay. If I can find my right buttons. Here we go. There. And okay, everybody. Thank you all for the ones that stayed with us, and thank you all for the people that will be on the replay crew. I know there's a lot that come in on the replay crew, especially during the week. So I really appreciate you. I want you to know that. And if you have any questions, please put those in the comments, because both Hales and Mandy are great about coming in and answering questions. And I try, if they're for me, I try to get to everybody too. So I thank you so much. And we will be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye.
If you watch till the end, we can't thank you enough. We hope that you'll come back. Hope that you made a new friend. Because at But First Coffee,